All righty. Here we are. KGO Sports Talk. We got the double screen up. We're just going to go live. None of this is scripted. Sometimes in the past, I've gone through and just like researched everything and put a bunch of time in. And usually, I think they ended up okay in the past. This is just going to be kind of like on the fly. This is like the live stream version. It took me like an hour to figure out how to even do this. Um, you would think that would be easier just to like run a video, but on YouTube. But here we go. I'm just gonna like run through a few things. It's been a long time. KGO Sports Talk is back, better than ever, despite the Saquon injury, Julio going down, and I'm sure I could find some other stuff to really harp on. But nonetheless, I'm sitting, ninth place. Um, towards the back end of the league, we got Real Deal Capes, Eduardo, Gourds, Ozzy, and Chuck currently taking up that top six in the league. Jay Reed and Angier at 7 and 8. So the standings are always tight. It's super early. 7 and 6 normally you're kind of that's the indicator as far as whether you're going to get into playoffs or not. But right now we're looking at four teams just from a waiver standpoint. We've had, the big waiver pickups, some guys getting forced into it, like myself, others like Capes making just some like really aggressive wide receiver moves that Capron always does. And Capron now is down to $8 waiver budget. So I know that's probably a little nerve wracking for him, but he must have really liked those wideouts that he picked up with Justin Jefferson, Lazard, and I can't even pronounce the other freaking guy's name, but Kayuk or whatever from San Fran. So a bunch of young talent, but Capes is definitely, you look at it, you click down. I don't know how often guys look at this, but the power rankings right now list Capron as a pretty substantial favorite just as far as total points go, at 609 projected fantasy points. That's a big season. Just to put it into perspective, our lowest guy would be at 13, projected at 1364. So Capron at 609 is big time. Eddie would be second based on these power rankings. Now you can also go to current projections as far as looking out. Capron at 10-3 is the projected guy right now. Aussie at 10-3, which would be two big seasons, and then Real Deal and Angier, who really needs this championship this year, would be sliding in at 9-4. But enough on projections. We'll just jump in. I want to talk about a couple of teams. One in particular with Chuck's squad. So we're just gonna go to Chuck's team right now. The big thing, that we're all looking at, how do we improve our squads, right? Chuck right now, holding pat, no trades, has Godwin, who's doubtful. So Chuck, when things are perfect for Chuck, he would have Chris Godwin and Devontae Adams as his starting wideouts, which is I thought I had the best wide receivers in the league. That is tough to match. Adams and Godwin, of course, both struggling with injuries. So that just seems to be the trend this year. No preseason causes issues, even more injuries this year than I would say normal. The rest of Chuck's squad, the whole on Chuck's team, of course, like most squads and like mine, although I don't have a running back one or a running back two, is DeAndre Swift. Can DeAndre Swift become that RB2 that Chuck needs him to be? Because quite frankly, he doesn't have another guy that can do it. He's got Tariq Cohen, who's on the IR, will not be playing again this year. Chuck wants to hold him, just in case. There could be a miracle that happens. And I think it's an ACL tear, but you never know. Maybe he turns that around, and maybe he's back by the playoffs. So we'll see. But Kidding, of course. But James White's been injured. So Chuck's team, strong squad. What the hell is he going to do with Dak Prescott and Josh Allen? He seems content on, or intent on just playing, Dak, right? Which I can't knock him on. Dak's been playing incredible. But he's also got Josh Allen. So Chuck, does he hoard Josh Allen the rest of the year? Does he trade him to another team? I know of some squads that I won't, air this, but that are looking to pick up Josh Allen. Josh Allen's been like top. He might be the top fantasy quarterback right now as far as total points scored. Just having an incredible year, getting Stephon Diggs, allowing him to really take the next step in his progression. And he's playing incredible. The Bills undefeated at this point, only through 3 weeks though. And then Chuck also with Zeke. So, I mean, strong squad. Devontae Parker had an incredible year last year, went, I believe, over 1,200 yards. So Chuck's team looking really good, battling some injuries like we all are. Another squad that I want to look at though is we're going to go over to Cape's squad at this point. Want to talk about Cape's team. The Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett duo has just been incredible. That right there, just having that 1-2 punch, Russell Wilson, the MVP, probably in the lead as far as the top MVP candidate right now. Huge pickup for Capes with Jefferson, dropped $37 on him. I mean, a lot of dough if Jefferson doesn't pan out. I mean, he dropped $37 on 1 week. He's a rookie. He's had one big week. And granted, it was a monster week. But that was an aggressive bid at 37. Jonathan Taylor, Edwards-Helaire, his running backs, super solid. Just traded for George Kittle. Really not a hole in this lineup. Deontay Johnson, solid receiver, on bye based on like that the COVID stuff this week. And then he's still got Allen. He just picked up Allen Lazard, Fournette, and Moss on his team. I mean, Fournette and Moss both could grow into something big. Fournette, we thought we had it after week 2. And then Cape was leveraging that for some potential trades that didn't pan out. But Fournette's still sitting there as a guy that he could toss in there as his running back 3, which is incredible. And then he just traded for Juju. So Capron's squad just ridiculous right now. But some of the other things I just wanted to discuss, I mean, as far as the COVID, pandemic and everything that we're dealing with, it's making it tough. I do think the lack of a preseason definitely hurting guys from a training standpoint and getting like that game action. At least even in the preseason, it's something that they're used to. They didn't get it this year. So that's making an impact. I look at the standings right now. There's always a lot of parity in our league. So no matter who you're playing, anybody can go down on a given week. I'm looking at the matchups. You've got multiple teams that are projected north of 130. Angier projected at 134. Capes 132. Speed Goats at nearly 127. The projections are certainly high this year. I'm pumped that we even have a league, but I just wanted to kick this off, get some thoughts out there. Jay Reed sitting there 100% of budget. Wentz needs to make that next step. I mean, he's kind of regressed thus far, it seems, but battling so many injuries for the Eagles. But he's got a solid squad. Tyreek Hill, Will Fuller, Dalvin Cook. Gurley's been all right, but hasn't really, taken the step that I think many thought he would in Atlanta as the kind of that bell cow back. And Zach Ertz kind of just not much to say about Zach Ertz thus far. So we'll see how Jay's got a solid squad. We'll see how that works out. Cortland Sutton going down with that ACL tear. Just brutal luck for him. but he's got some good pieces. Ronald Jones still kind of holding that starting job, and Jarvis Landry for PPR purposes, still a solid option. So we'll see what happens with Jay's squad, but I'm pumped for this season. And we're going to pick it up. We're going to do some more videos. We're going to do a little bit more planning. This one, like I said, was kind of like on the fly, but I wanted to get something out to you guys. So love everybody. We will talk soon, and good luck through this week with the little COVID scare with the Titans. Have a good one, guys.